Reports are coming in that hundreds have been injured in fresh clashes in Jerusalem. Police have fired stun grenades and tear gas at stone-throwing demonstrators inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. Plans to evict Palestinian residents from East Jerusalem to make room for Jewish settlers have fueled protests that escalated over the weekend. And today, tensions are particularly high as Israel is marking Jerusalem Day, the anniversary of when Israeli troops captured East Jerusalem in 1967. Amid growing international calls for calm, the UN Security Council is holding an emergency session to discuss the situation.
Confrontation and escalation. It's an entrenched pattern of behavior between Jewish Israelis and Arab Palestinians who make claims to the same land. This time the hatred flared at the Damascus Gate, at the entrance to the Old City. Ownership of land is at the heart of the bitter dispute. The prospect of forced evictions of Palestinians from East Jerusalem has brought Arabs to the streets. Over the past 2 weeks, hundreds of them have been injured as Israeli police cracked down on the demonstrations. On Sunday, they were out again, ahead of a controversial Jerusalem Day march through the Old City. Hardline Israeli nationalists used the annual event to celebrate the capture of East Jerusalem by Israeli forces in the 1967 war. Israeli security officials warn it could lead to a further escalation in violence.
And we're joined by our correspondent
Shalom. I know your brothers probably hear me murmuring in the back saying that is not even their land and they're fighting over it. You know, before going into this, all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Makal, Kodash, Bakatam. To your brothers and your families, much love and respect. Shalom to the Israelites scattered in the four corners of the earth who are known as the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indian, West Indians, so-called Amerindian. You are the Israelites according to the Bible. You are the Most High chosen people. Yeah, and that's true. It's not even their land they're fighting over it. Them Ishmaelites and, you know, the Khazarians who are the Edomites according to the Bible. And that's, you know, biblical prophecy. You know, but let's go into the scripture and see what the Lord say concerning that, because the Israelites gonna get back that land. You know, the Israelites gonna get back the land, but first the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai gonna cleanse the land with fire. Right? But before I go to that, let us go to Joel chapter 3 and start from verse 4. Yea, what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Meaning the Lord gonna judge them. Alright? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. Alright? The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye may remove them far from their borders. And that's what these nations did. And they're selling us on to this day. You know? Behold, I will raise them out of their place, whether ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. Through the Arab slave trade, we were sold, all right. The Amites, all right, which represent Tyre and Zidon, all right, and the Arabs, they sold us, all right, to the Grecians, who are the Edomites, right? Joel 3 and 6, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians, that he might remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will raise them out of the place where ye have sold them, and recompense your recompense upon your own head. And that's what the Lord is doing right now. The Israelites coming back to their nationality. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off, for the Lord have spoken it, and we gonna sold you. Alright, we gonna sell you. Alright? So that's what's coming to you when you fighting over that land, and that land is not even your land. Alright, you covet it. You see, but you have a period of time to rule in that land. Alright, and then you gonna get kicked out. Alright, let me see if I get it real quick. Trodden down of the Gentiles. Trodden, yeah. Trodden, yeah. Down of the Gentiles. And this Gentile here is talking about you, Eden. In particular, you Edomites. Alright. Yeah, this is it right here. Let me read it. Luke 21 and verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for they shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And that was talking about 70 AD. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. And that happened. We were destroyed by Domitian Caesar, Titus, Vespasian, right? The Flavian dynasty. Alright? In particular, Titus. You see? And shall be led away captive into all nations, and that's the slave trade. You are led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's happening right now. That's why you see all these uproar going on in the land, because the time of the Gentiles is almost being fulfilled. You see, you Arabs and Edomites, alright, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. And that's what you see around the world. Distress of nations. Alright, uproars of the people. You see, and you see the signs in the heavens. You see these different signs. New moon, flash floods. You see, storm, and so forth. Chariots that Esau called UFOs. You see them with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Alright? The sea and the waves roaring. You see? The Lord getting ready to take you out of the land and put the children of Israel back into that land. Alright? And the Lord gonna come and do it himself. Alright? He said he gonna gather the elect from the four winds of the earth. and take them back into their own land. Right? I can't remember where the scripture at this point in time. I think it's in Matthew 24. Let me get that. Matthew 24 verse 30. Online. Yes, scripture, Well, let's go to Ezekiel 36. You know what? Let's go to that. Ezekiel 36 and 1. Start from verse 1. Yeah, verse 1. Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and mountains represent government. And say, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord. You Khazarians, you Edomites. Alright? You also known as the Idumeans in the scripture. Alright? And you Arabs, who are the Ishmaelites, according to the scripture. Your lineage go back to Ishmael. Alright? Arab is not a nation. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because the enemy have said against you, haha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Therefore prophesied and say, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up and on every side, that he might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. You see, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people. And right now the Israelites are an infamy of the people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, and West Indians. Alright, we are being talked about, we are known for famous for wickedness. And that's the definition of infamy. You see? Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valley, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which become a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, you Edomites, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. You see? Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains and to the valley, to the rivers and to the hills, and to the rivers and to the valley, thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore thus said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I have lifted up my hand, surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. You see, we're going to get back our land, but first the Lord going to destroy you. That's not your land. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn unto you, and ye shall be tilled and sow. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Shalom.